Hello. I'm back again talking about what I'm doing. So the basic idea and everything, the only really thing that I was thinking about at this point in the drawing was that 2 weeks ago I did like a kind of sketch that I really, really liked where I did kind of a rosy, reddish, pinkish background, kind of neutral. And I did a darker version of that color and a lighter version of that color, and I kind of like made my own like digital version of like toned paper, but it was like warm toned. And so I was like, how about I do the same thing, but I make it cool toned. So I was picking on my blues a little bit ago. Yeah. Second idea that I had after the first idea was I haven't drawn anyone dead on for a while. Maybe I should do that. So that's the entirety of what's happening. I struggled to get started on this one, just because I didn't know what I was gonna do to draw today. Which every single time I do this every week, and every single time I'm like, what am I doing? Until way too late in the day, and then I get really stressed about it. Yeah. So I don't know why recently I've been drawing the eyebrows first before the eyes. It's a very flawed method. It would probably be so much easier if I could just, do the eyes first, but I always go for the eyebrows. I don't know. I think it's because I follow up the nose with the eyebrows, because they connect with, like, the eyebrow ridge and all that. But, man, do I wish I could stop doing that. So it's just, you kind of know more what you're doing stylistically once you have the eyes in, and the eyebrows don't do much of the same thing for you. Yeah, so I was going for a bit more of a kind of lighter, more natural eyelash look here than I usually go for. I don't know, I was just doing a lot of soft things with kind of the shading and all that, and it felt like it goes. Also, yes, I know one of her eyes is smaller. I fix it. I fix it. It hasn't happened yet, but it's about to happen, and I'm gonna try and make it look good. Yeah, that's when I zoom out, I'm like, oh, no, that's not quite right. Yeah. There'll be a slight edit to the eyes later, but we're most of the way there with that. And here's where I went in completely blind on the hair. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I need to get started at it though, So I just kind of started. Wow. Riveting. I decided pretty quick I wanted her to have shorter hair. So the original drawing that I did 2 weeks ago, I had her hair up in a bun. And I did decide free-flowing just to be different from that. But I went for this kind of wavy style. It almost looks like kind of 30s or something, because it's like short, but not really. It's a more modern. I say that because the sketch I keep referencing was more of an 1890s kind of look, so I was thinking, is this historical? And I decided kind of no. And here's why, because I was doing this, and I decided I didn't want to darken that area in the front, kind of by her face. I felt it would just look really stark, but I liked the other areas dark. So I decided she's going to have two-tone hair at this moment. It just happened. I had no plans for that, but it's how it went when I started drawing the hair. So we will fully commit to that look now. So she has kind of lighter streaks in the front, which I think is interesting that, I decided to do two-tone hair on one where it's monochromatic. That's kind of funny. Just with the meanings of the words and all that. It's not that funny. I don't know. I fully laughed. That was... sometimes I just say something's funny when I mean something's interesting. Not the same thing. But I'm going to go back and add more detail and life to the hair, but I'm kind of darkening sections around her eyes and her eyebrows and stuff, because the base tone of the hair is dark with light streaks, so I wanted the kind of eyelashes and the eyebrows to match that. Yeah, I'm just kind of adding a little bit more shading in to the face here. So far I'm all in one layer, and I've just been drawing in and erasing with a dark blue. I do add a separate layer later over top for the highlights, so that is coming. But just kind of figuring out what her face structure is, like what are your cheekbones doing? Kind of cleaning up, because I'm not doing line art for this. This is going to be the final image. I'm not, it's sketchy, but it's not like a sketch that you do and then you don't show. Wow. That's a terrible way to describe that. I don't know why I do voiceovers every week, and every single time I am caught off guard by the fact that I have to do one. You'd think there'd be a little more understanding. Yeah, but I also I kept a little bit of the front section darker where it like meets her forehead, just because I felt like it helped it stand out against her skin tone, which is kind of the same. You'll see. Well, you already do see, but the highlights help with adding more dimension, and I've just started them. So first off, already her eyes are so shiny. But you'll I keep saying you'll see. You're already seeing. So yeah, it's a pretty simple, like, one kind of from the view and all that. It's like not very complex. Oh god, I hate when I forget my fancy art words, because I'm like, I went to college for this. And yet, I do not know. But I do. It'll come to me later in the day when I can't tell you. And it'll be very embarrassing. But yeah, this is what I was talking about, where I was like kind of adding the highlight, which is not a true white. It's a very, very light blue. Oh yeah, I keep thinking about signing stuff because it seems like the thing to do. And then I hate how it looks. I don't really vibe with my handwriting, but also I'm like, when I draw things in real life, I tend to put my signature on the back if I have my signature on it. Or if it's like a painting, I might put it on the side of the stretcher. But like, yeah, I just don't like the look of signatures on fronts of pieces of art. It's a thing for me. I can't vibe with. But thank you for watching through this. I'll be back next week, and I'll be just as surprised.